What a girl, what a world, what a light. Oh, I married Joan. What a mind, love is blind, what a wife.
Joan Davis with Jim Backus in
I married Joan.
Five minutes of 6. Brad will be home any minute for dinner. I won't have it ready. We'll have a fit. Oh, why do I do this? A couple of carrots. I'm in the kitchen, dear. Oh,
Lover.
Well, honey, what happened at court today? I'm in the mood for some good news.
Boy, am I hungry.
Tell me some more good news.
You see, I didn't have a chance to go out for lunch today, so let's get started with the dinner, huh?
Honey, I just had a wonderful idea. Let's take a walk before dinner. A nice, long walk.
No. Come on, let's take a walk after dinner. Boy, am I famished. I'm so hungry I could eat raw meat.
You could, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, dear.
No. Listen, I'll set the table, and you get started with dinner, huh?
No, honey, you've been working so hard all day. You sit down, lover. Take it easy. I'll set the table.
Okay, lover. Joan, it'll take you an hour to set the table that way. Look, let me help, dear, because I'm
No, darling, I'll get it.
Look, dear, let's skip the salad and all that stuff and just give me a nice big hunk of meat first.
A nice big hunk of meat, huh?
Yeah, hungry.
Looks kind of rare, dear.
Rarer the better for me.
Is rare enough?
Joan, I said rare, not alive.
Honey, I may as well tell you what happened, dear. You see, I was going...
I just can't understand this. How can meat be so rare after it's been in the oven a couple of hours? It's just... Oh.
What's so funny?
Oh, after 9 years of housekeeping.
What is it,
You left the roast in the oven all afternoon and forgot to turn the oven on.
Is that what I did?
Yes.
Imagine I put the roast in the oven all afternoon, and I forgot to turn it on until just... Oh, if it were only true.
Joan, what do you mean?
Well, honey, you see, I was at my Women's Welfare League today, and I didn't get home in time to fix your dinner.
Oh, that club of yours again.
That club does a lot of work for good causes.
I know they're good causes, dear, but fixing my meals and darning my socks are good causes, too. Nothing gets done around this house because of that club of yours, and this just can't go on. You've got to promise me this is not going to happen again. I won't take no for an answer. Do you hear me? I just can't stand it. I can't be expected to. It just isn't fair. No man would stand it.
Oh, I know, but girls, please. This is the worst crisis our club has ever faced.
Well, let's not just sit here talking about it. Let's do something.
Yes, but what can we do? According to this eviction notice, we've got to be out of here in 2 weeks. It's all signed and legal.
Yes, and look who signed the eviction notice. That's what gets me. Judge Bradley J. Stevens.
I'll never speak to Joan again, letting her husband do a thing like that.
Hi, Jean. Hi, Mabel. Hi, Nancy. Well, I'm sorry I'm late, Prez. Gee, I had to practically sneak out of the house to get here. Confidentially, Brad doesn't like this group very much. And, something showing? What's wrong?
Joan, our club is faced with a grave problem. We have just received an eviction notice. We have to vacate these premises in 2 weeks.
Well, we're certainly not going to take this lying down. We've been using this club for a long time now, and I, for one, don't intend to get out just because some dope signs an eviction notice. But, Joan, we've got to make a fight for this.
Joan,
We've got to be firm. We've got to stick together. We've got 2 weeks to get out, ain't we?
Your own husband did this. He threw us out in the cold.
Yes, and we
Now
don't
we haven't
understand
any place to
We
be.
can't
Where are we
understand
going
it.
to
Where are we going to be?
Girls,
And
I know why he did this. I'll go see Brad right away and straighten it right out.
Oh, do you really think you can, Joan?
Oh, just leave it to me. I'll make him cancel. This is just as good as done.
3 cheers for Joan.
Hip, hip, hooray!
No. Absolutely not.
Bradley J. Stevens, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, making the whole club suffer just because you're angry with me.
Joan, that is not the truth. Your club happens to be located in a restricted residential zone. The neighbors signed a petition claiming there was too much noise. There were too many cars parked there at all times. I'll show it to you. According to Section 12 of the Building Code and Article 4 of the zoning regulations, I had no recourse but to sign that eviction notice. Now, do you know why I did it?
Yes.
Good.
You did it because I gave you raw meat yesterday.
Joan, I signed that notice almost a week ago. I had no idea it was your clubhouse. With me, it was simply a matter of the law. The decision was made by the zoning commission. I merely signed the notice. Can't you understand that?
Well, I understand most of it, Brad. I understand about the noise and the petition and the neighbors and the parked cars all the time and the building code and the zoning regulations. But there's one thing I don't understand.
What's that?
Why are you making such a fuss over a little piece of raw meat? Well, I think I'll go to bed, dear.
All right, I'll be along just as soon as I finish this page.
All right, honey.
Eviction notice, to whom it may concern, according to Section 4 of the Women's Code and Article 12 of Wives Regulations, Judge Bradley J. Stevens is hereby evicted from his bedroom, signed Joan Stevens. Joan, what is this?
Well, it's perfectly simple, Brad. An eviction is an eviction, and you've been evicted.
Joan, stop this nonsense.
I'm sure you're familiar with the grounds. Too much noise and parking.
Noise and parking?
You make too much noise when you snore, and twice last week you parked your cold feet on me.
Cold feet? But we have separate beds.
You have very long legs.
Come on, open that door.
I'll be glad to cancel your eviction if you cancel ours.
Joan, that is blackmail, and I simply won't stand for it. I'm going to sleep out on the couch.
You are?
Yes, I am. Good night, Joan.
Good night, Brad.
What's the matter?
There's a mouse in here! There's a mouse, for Brad!
Oh, come now.
Oh, what'll I do?
Have him evicted!
I'm not kidding, Brad. There's a mouse in here. There's an extra key in the desk. Get it, come in here and save me.
Not me. I can't set foot in the bedroom.
He's coming after me.
Joan, what's all this fuss about a little mouse? Where is it?
There.
Oh. It's my sock.
Well, what's it doing going around looking like a mouse?
Well, if you darn the holes in it, it wouldn't look like it was staring at you.
Don't look now, but its mate is twitching its nose at me.
By golly, there is a real mouse! Oh.
Brad.
No.
Brad.
The answer is no. I just don't want to talk about it.
You don't?
No.
Then how am I going to find out how you want your eggs?
Is that what you were going to ask me? I thought you were going to ask me if I changed my mind about the eviction notice.
Did you?
Now, Joan,
How do you want your eggs, dear?
scrambled with onions.
Again?
That happens to be the way I like them. Joni, lover. Lover, come here. Oh, honey. You're making me feel terrible.
Yeah?
Yes, I feel just awful. If I could do something about it, I would. So, please, stop crying, huh?
I'm not crying. Oh. Lover.
Yeah?
Will you do me a favor, lover?
No, Joan,
Honey, all I want you to do is come to the clubhouse during your lunch hour, darling, and explain to the girls that there's nothing you can do about the eviction.
Oh, Joan,
Oh, please, honey, because all the girls are mad at me. They won't even talk to me because you know how bad I am at explaining things.
Well, honey,
and
but
you're
the
so
girls.
wonderful at it, darling, because when you know, you're so logical and...
right. Okay. Hello, girls. Guys. Hello, Clara.
We are happy to welcome you here, Judge Stevens.
Yeah.
Joan, will you please present your husband to the meeting?
Girls, you all know Brad.
Hello,
Brad,
girls.
Another girl. Well, I promised Brad that we wouldn't keep him very long, so without further ado, I give you my husband. Not literally, of course. Kill him, lover.
Thank you. Ladies, Joan has asked me to come before you, this charming company, and try to explain why I couldn't or can't do anything about the eviction notice. You see, the law works in a rather, shall I say, impersonal and sometimes strange way, but we must adhere to those principles. I will admit, however, that my signature is affixed to the eviction notice, and I know that you must think of me as some terrible monster. Yes. But I would like to explain, I explained this to Joan in my chambers, that your clubhouse, this charming edifice, happens to be located in a restricted residential zone, and the neighbors signed a petition in which they claimed there was, well, too much noise, and that a lot of cars were parked here most of the time. Now, I must be legal for just a moment. Now, Section 12 of the Building Code and Article 4 of the zoning regulations, those are there, and I had no recourse but to sign the eviction notice. So I know that will clear that point up, and you will readily understand. Now, I would like to make one point clear, and I think it's only fair. I would like to explain further that my signature is really just a rubber stamp. It's just exactly that. And the zoning commission, or headed, of course, by the zoning commissioner, makes a decision and passes it on down, and I, as a public servant, have no recourse, as I said before, but it's called a rubber stamp, remember. Now, I know that you girls have a fondness for this residence. It is more of a residence. It's probably, you feel that it is some part of you, and I do feel terrible, and believe me from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the situation that you ladies are confronted with. That how you ladies, how you feel, that it must come as a terrible blow, but we must somehow feel that things will go on, and there will be maybe some solution to this. I know I can understand the happy times that you've had here, and Joan, please. I just want to say again that I know that this must make you girls feel terrible and maybe even hate me. And for the first time, I realize how much this house means to all of us, including myself and my darling wife, and an onion.
How did that get there?
Joan, this is just another one of your tricks, but it won't do you any good. Goodbye.
Brad. Now remember, girls, this is our last chance to save the club. And I just know that it'll work if you make this the loudest, noisiest, most hectic meeting that we've ever had.
Don't worry, we will.
But Joan, won't Brad be angry?
Well, that's exactly the purpose of the whole thing. You see, you girls will drive Brad so crazy with all the noise that when I tell him that the club is going to meet here from now on, he'll be glad to take back the eviction notice. That's Brad coming up now. Now, you all know what to do, don't you? And just remember, this has got to be the loudest, most hectic meeting. And I'm sure that... Okay, now remember when you...
Oh, come right in, Tom. Here.
Hello, darling.
Oh, hello, dear.
How are you?
Take your hat. Tom, this is Tom Harris. This is my wife, Joan. Joan, this is Tom.
Oh, hello, Tom.
Very happy to meet you, Mrs. Stevens.
Well, thank you. Guess what, darling? I'm having the club meeting here tonight.
Oh, yes. Well, sit down, will you, Tom? And,
Brad, I don't think you heard me, darling. I said I'm having the club meeting here tonight. The girls are here. We're going to meet in the club.
I heard you.
Then how come you're still smiling?
Because it works out just fine. You know, after I left you girls this afternoon, I realized how important the club really is. And then it suddenly occurred to me that if you were to tell to the zoning commissioner what a nice, quiet group of respectable women you are, he might withdraw the eviction notice.
Oh, he would, Brad. I just know he would. When can I tell him?
Why not right now?
You mean that he... Oh, you'll just love them, Mr. Zoning.
Mr. Harris. And you don't have to tell him because he can see for himself a typical club meeting.
Well, of course he can. The girls are here, and believe me, you're going to find them the nicest, quietest, most...
What's the matter, Joan?
Oh, nothing, dear. I just have to speak to one of the girls. If you'll excuse me just a moment, please.
Okay, girls, that's the all clear for the air raid. Now to help the wounded. Here's a victim. Emergency. Girls. Hold her down. She's got a fractured jaw.
I think her arm's broken.
Yeah, this one's damaged, too. Better apply a tourniquet.
I'll splint this one.
Our weary hearts upon our home, and friends we love so dear. Dancing tonight, dancing on the old town ground. Dancing tonight, dancing tonight, dancing on the old town
Well, here it is, the final eviction notice, signed by Thomas H. Harris. Oh, what a mess we've made of things.
Well, how were we to know that Thomas H. Harris was the zoning commissioner?
Joan never should have hit Mr. Harris with that splint.
Hey,
Girls! Girls!
Oh, Joan, how can you even look happy at a time like this?
I want you to meet a new member.
A new member when we're being thrown out of the clubhouse? Oh,
Girls,
Joan.
our troubles are over. Yes, I want you to meet a new honorary life member and my personal choice for chairman of the housing committee, introducing at 182 and a half, wearing a purple dress, Mrs. Thomas H. Harris.
Do-do-do. Giddy and gay all day she keeps my heart laughing.